Alright guys, so hopefully you can hear me. I usually try to confirm, so if you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. And I think you can, so let me do my intro. Hello everyone, it's Nkechi again. I am about to start my study slash work session that I normally will do sometimes this time of the night or the evening to keep myself accountable with study that I need to get done or additional tasks I need to get done. Sometimes I am going to be editing if I have to edit a video for the channel, and sometimes I will get some studying done and any additional things I need to do. I have a lot of goals that I want to meet for myself individually, so I think I try to figure out the best time for me to do what I need to do and the best quiet time to be productive. So if you guys hear sounds and a few things here and there, as I've always stated, I am not alone. I have hubby and some kids, and so sometimes you might hear a sound or two. They are fully aware that I'm doing a live, but then again, the reality is we all have family and friends and kids and mom and dads and people we care for. So once in a while, you might hear that on my live, so bear with me. But for those of you who are trying to work and stay accountable, work alongside with me, I will appreciate that. So I like to do my intros first thing. And if you see a few misspelled things in the chat, my bad, I'm typing fast. And I like to say hello to everyone that is joining the live. And please say hello if you are watching, or just give my video a thumbs up as always. Also give me some of those hearts. I will appreciate it to show that you're watching. And let me know what you're doing as well. I probably have to move my screen a little bit to make sure that I'm okay with my viewage, because I still have my screen protector coming in. So I may have to adjust the camera. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit, guys, because I want to be sure I am not showing too much. So my bad. I think that's much better for me. And the days I do decide to show my screen, I will. But sometimes I am working on things that I don't need to show on the live. So I'm sure everyone understands that. We want to respect everyone's privacy. So, but let's get this done. Okay, so I'm going to check in on my notes and things that I plan to get done here. Hello, hello, sauce. Alright guys, so I'm going to do my little spillage of things as I continue to do my normal intro. So if you're studying, make sure that you get all the materials that you want to use when you are studying. It's important you gather all your materials. If you're working on something, you want to gather all your materials anyway. So make sure you do that, and make sure you have everything you need, because you don't want to be distracted when it is time to start your studying. And then also you want to be sure that you either have some sort of plan that you have set up to do for today. For example, if you're studying today, you have set up your plan, you have mapped out what you want to focus on. That's important because that's going to help you stay focused on what you need to do. If you don't map out your plan, you're not going to be able to focus on what you need to do. So you're going to be all over the place when you're studying, unless you intentionally are trying to be all over the place when you're studying. So, or when you're doing work. So if you plan to edit, make sure you know what you want to edit. If you are a content creator, make sure that you're doing that. If you want to work on reading a book, make sure you have the book. Make sure you know how many chapters you want to read. Same thing with your Bible. Make sure you know where you want to read, because then you're going to be confused as to what you want to do. So plan out your study time, outline what you need to outline and what you want to do. That's truly important. I normally use a book, notepad, and I list out things that I want to do for the day, or for the evening, or for the night if I'm doing a nighttime study. So make sure that you do that, because you want to stay on top of that. If not, you are not using your time productively, and we want to do that. So keep that in mind. The other thing is, if you are studying for any type of exam, course, program, class, trade, let me know in the comment section what you're doing. If you're willing to share, it would be nice to know who's watching, and that would be great. So let me know what you're doing. I am doing okay. So being asked how I'm doing okay. And the reason why I'm saying okay is that I am truly, honestly trying to grow my channel, guys. I'm also trying to see how often I can pull out content for you all. I have a lot of different things to show or to give you guys, and sometimes it's harder to create those content and be consistent, and I've been trying to do that. I've done a lot of live stream videos, so between that and editing, hopefully by this weekend I should have some things for you all. But at least between the live stream that I've been doing, which is sharing a lot of the study guides that I've been using, I think I have them down here somewhere on my bookcase. But the RHIT, RHIA, CHDA, those credentials, certifications, I know people call them all sorts of things. I've been trying to share some view, or give some view time on my live stream, so you can see what some of the sample questions are like, or the study guide questions are like. And that way you can look at it, you can take a stab at some of the questions and see what you think about that. And just some things as you work on getting your funds together to purchase those books, you can see what to expect in some of them, or some questions. So test yourself, use it to study, So that's what I have been doing with the live. So hopefully you guys appreciate that and you are watching those to support me on this channel. So I am looking for other things that I can bring for you guys, and that's also doing a live where I'm actually in the live like I am right now and talking through some things, or just working in general for those of you who are up working late and doing some things. Do that right along with me. So join me and let's get started. I am going to be talking as I do this live at times, and sometimes I'm going to be quiet because it is working session. But sometimes if I'm studying and I'm trying to get some things done and some things I want to share, I'll speak to that. Saul says, how are you? How's your day going? My day's going okay. You said that you are preparing for your final exam tomorrow, so all the best on that. I hope you do well. Wishing you much success. And yes, final exam is a big one. After that, you're done with your class, and hopefully you are well prepared. Take your time, study hard, and make sure that you are well prepared for your exam. So studying like never before. This live is assistant in staying focused. So yes, please stay focused. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do. And let's see what you can get within the next at least 2 hours. I'll try to pull in a 2 hour, if not a 2 hour and a half session. But make sure that you use this time wisely. Check in, let me know, and what you're doing. Of course, always don't forget to take that break as need be. And I tell everyone that. So make sure you take your break, stay hydrated, and get your mental break. Health first, so you don't want to be studying and overloading on your self while you're studying. So guys, as you join in, again, hit the thumbs up and make sure that you also give me some hearts. That would be much appreciated. And let's see. And so we want to make sure that you are getting all your things together. I always say one thing that I like to use when I am studying is making sure that I have things like my highlighter, again, my notebook, notepads, whichever one, a pen. If need be, I like to use mechanical pencil because I like to write things, check them off, erase them if I have to. What else? I like my laptop. I use my Mac. I have my Mac right here, guys, if you can see that. But I use that for my rain sound because I don't want it too quiet, and that helps me focus. And what else? I have my textbook here and a few things. Whatever you want to snack on, have that. Or when you take your break, make sure to grab that. Don't study on an empty stomach. You don't want to do that. I have to put my phone on do not disturb. If not, I'll have everyone calling me. At times I have to text to let people know I am on live. But that's what's got to be done. And guys, remember when we are, or when others, not just me, are doing live using digits like 1, 2, 3 and spelling and typing it out is not recommended for YouTube live. You want to spell it out. So if you're using any type of digit, please spell it out. Do not type the word such as subscribe on my channel. Don't do that in the chat. We want you to join the family. That's what I always tell people to do. Join the family so that you can be notified. Make sure that you're hitting that notification bell. And also comment in the chat what you want to see, what type of videos you want me to make. So again, I was looking into kind of staying abreast with the CHAD exam. That's the one that I want to take eventually. I'm just kind of like giving myself a head start actually. And there are many people who have asked me to see if I can do some sessions with them. So this is an opportunity for us to study together and keeping everybody accountable. So if you're doing that, comment, let me know, say hello. I would appreciate it. Of course, you guys know I have to chew my gum when I study. Hopefully I'm not popping it, but at times I gotta have my gum. I feel like my computer is going dark screen, my monitor. Hopefully not. Make sure my brightness is all the way to where it's supposed to be, because something is, I think it will be in display. Guys, I will be checking the chat periodically to make sure I didn't miss anybody, and if I do miss saying hello to you because I'm engrossed in what I'm working on, I'm going to apologize in advance, because it happens. Sometimes I get carried away with what I'm working on, and I may not be in the chat or engrossed in the chat. So FYI, if I do, please stick around a little bit longer so I can recognize you. And I'm always saying thank you to you all. So if I don't say it when you're in this live, just know that you are more than appreciated for joining my live. So like when you're studying and you're reading through your notes, you want to make sure that you grasp what you're reading, or the notes that you made is correct. Some of the notes that I made, I did it on a high level on my computer. I think I indicated before that I normally use my monitors, my laptop, my computer, my iPad, any gadget I have to try to take notes on what I was studying either previously or recently. And that being said, I like to do that because I am able to easily access my notes. I can go in and I can edit my notes, so I don't have to worry about trying to figure out where it is. Although I use my notepad sometimes and flipping through the pages, I can actually go on my dual monitors here, pull up my drive wherever I saved my study notes, and I could go through them and just continuously read it. Information retention is by reading something over and over. Sometimes I'll read out loud. So because I am on this live, I am not reading out loud, but sometimes reading out loud could help because it's going to help you remember, kind of talking to yourself. And if somebody was to stand and talk to you continuously over and over again, you're going to remember that moment once in time. So if you're doing that sometimes where you're reading out loud, you're trying to comprehend things, sometimes reading to yourself, that's fine. But I normally like to use my Word document and try to make sure that I have all my notes in there and read through it. If I have to do like a review session, such as what I'm doing today, which is just reading through what's on my monitor, whatever notes that are my notes. If I have to, I will reference my textbook here or any other textbook that I'm using. I like to use this book, my HIM Bible. I have another one I'll show you guys on the next live, but I do have a HIM Bible as well. Saul says, yeah, I take my notes digitally, really, as well. It's easy to keep everything organized. I think so, and I think it's important because sometimes you can't take your notebook with you. This is a small notebook, so I can stick this in an average size pocketbook, or if I was going to work, I can stick it in my laptop bag. Same thing with this, but sometimes you may not want to carry that. And if you're carrying it around and lose it, then that's all your note down the drain. So I like to try to do things as much as I can electronically, but I am also still an old-fashioned girl, so I will take notes, but I tend to leave my books and everything here unless I'm in the house and I'm going upstairs, maybe to the room, and I want to do a review or know what I'm going to do for the day or the next day. Then I will take this upstairs and maybe just do some notes before I go to bed, after reading my Bible or something, make some notes on what I'm going to do for tomorrow. Then I'm bringing it back down. But for this to leave the house, usually it's going to be more work because I may lose it. So electronic version of doing things sometimes, or most of the time, is sort of more efficient. You can take that with you. You can put things on a flash drive. You can email it to yourself. You can do a Google Doc, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and all you have to do is be able to access it. Put it on a drive that is shared. You can access it. I think that's important. So something to keep in mind to add to your study routine is to sometimes go put everything more on an electronic version. I do think I agree. Guys, I feel like I saw my computer glitch. I hope I don't have network issue. I am not claiming it, because at times I will do my live and halfway in I start having a little bit of a network issue. So I'm going to pray that that does not happen, because I've been on this for a good almost hour. And if it stops, I'm going to go ahead and stop my live. I'm not going to restart the live because I don't want to waste this footage. I think it's valuable because I am giving a lot of tips on this as well. So just an FYI, fingers crossed that this live can continue going. And if it stops, I may not come back on this evening. But then again, I don't know. I might push myself to go ahead and do that. But I don't want to have multiple lives. Sometimes I can, yes, have multiple lives in one day. If I do a live maybe early in the morning, because I do have an early morning study session. So let me know if you want me to do that, like come on live. So I do have an early in the morning study session. Sometimes I like to do that right before I start my day. And then also on the weekends, evening times, I have had 1 or 2 lunch sessions that I did when I did a lunch, because it's for an hour and I just wanted to study. I used to do that in my program when I was in my RHIT program, RHIA program. I would just take my lunchtime, gather what I need to gather. Already I am organized with what I need to do, so you can't try to do an hour study and you're not organized. So I try to organize what I need to do, make sure I mapped it out, had my meal prepped, everything, and I would go to a certain area of the hospital, because I do work for a big hospital, and they have various different teaching facilities. So I would go maybe next door to the social work area. I would go next door to maybe Potbelly, where they had the food court, and I'll just find a small quiet area, sometimes to the library section, and just find a small area and study. Or I would go downstairs in my building. I used to be on the 9th floor. They call it the penthouse. So I would leave my office and go straight downstairs and find one of the conference training rooms and go and study there. It's really nice and quiet, and usually so many people are busy working, so it's not always that the conference room or training rooms are being used. And I'll just go in there and get some study. Once in a while, I will close my office door, put a sign, because I had a nice glass door, and I will put a sign to say do not disturb, study mode, something like that. So they knew it was my lunchtime, is my meal time, and I have every right to go ahead and study. So I would do something like that. So as students, you want to be able to make sure that you are managing your time wisely, you are using your time wisely, using every second and minute that you have to get your study on. Because time is not on your side, nothing is waiting for anyone, and if you don't do it for yourself, then nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to read for you, nobody's going to study for you, nobody's going to motivate you. Well, you have some people that will motivate you, such as myself, because I'm always trying to give back. I always want to help where I can, but someone is not going to sit up there and nudge you and say, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. They're not personally there with you. So you want to make sure that you're using your time wisely, taking time out, put time aside for yourself. If you are in the field already working, figure out when is the best time to study. If you have a busy life, like you're a mom, a dad, we have parents that we're taking care of, children we're taking care of, loved ones we're taking care of, make sure that you try to incorporate your study time during that daytime, either lunchtime when you're working or right after. Set a little bit of time aside, because when we get home, you know it's going to be really hard, and then that means you will be doing something like an after hours when it comes to studying. But if you have to get back to work the next morning, you also want to be rested. But that's the sacrifices we have to make no matter what. As healthcare professionals, students, workers, you're going to have to set time aside if you're determined to make things better for yourself and your family. You have to push yourself. You have to be driven to get it done. So that's what I do. I push myself, and I am driven to get this live session done, try to keep you accountable, me accountable, and see whatever I can use this productive time to do. So that's what I am doing right now. So I'm hoping that I'm encouraging you all to get started, and hoping that I'm encouraging you all to continue working hard. So I said it's easy to keep things organized. That's doing it electronically. And you can always come back and edit. It's done online. OMG. So I do see my same glitching. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. I am only about an hour in. Let me know if you can still hear me, if you can still see me. So I still see that I'm in the live, so I'm going to continue. But again, if this live pauses or freezes up, I'm going to stop the live. I'm still going to post it, but I will stop the live. So let me know, for all you guys that are watching and giving me those thumbs up, let me know that you can still hear me and you can still see me. So guys, I think another thing that you have to keep in mind that you should be doing is jotting down your key terms and making sure that you're studying them and understanding what they are. So if you are taking a class and your teacher has provided you a chapter to read or a particular, I guess, reading to do, you want to make sure that you're taking down key terms, or if she provides you a key term list, make sure that you're understanding them. Do not just memorize your key terms. Memorization is good, but memorization is good only when it's applicable. I'm going to say it again. Memorization is great because you're going to need it. In our field, we deal with a lot of abbreviations. We deal with a lot of milestone dates. We deal with a lot of time frame. We deal with a lot of quantity, quality, FTEs, you name them, numbers, a lot of data. So you're going to have the formulas, calculation, you're going to have to memorize those, but that's when it's applicable. You have abbreviations, you have various different things that you need to understand, and you don't want to not memorize it, but there are things that are not applicable to memorize, such as a key term. Understanding what that term is, understanding the content, understanding the who, what, when, where, why is important, and not just memorizing the term. Because memorizing the term is not going to do anything for you but have you master what the exact definitions are. So you want to be sure that when you are memorizing is only when it's applicable. If you have formulas to deal with, you want to memorize the formula. Length of stay, average length of stay, you want to memorize those. You want to know what a pie chart looks like, what a Gantt chart looks like. Those things you want to remember and memorize what they look like if a depiction is given to you, or if a picture or a graph representation, you know what they are. Bar chart, that warrants a memorization. But if you have certain words like Joint Commission and you have the abbreviation for that, you have CMS, that's an abbreviation that requires memorization. What does CMS stand for? What is Joint Commission? You want to still master what they are. Master memorizing that abbreviation, because sometimes in the question you might see CMS is a organization that does XYZ. You want to master who CMS is. What does that CMS stand for? Memorize that, but at the same time you want to understand what that organization does. AHIMA, it's an organization. What do they do? What do they offer? What can you find on that particular website? You know, what services do they provide? Who do they cater to? How are those services offered? Where are the services offered? So that who, what, when, where, why is something that I use when I was studying and prepping for any of my exam. It doesn't have to be the RHIT, RHIA. It doesn't have to be the coding credentials. When I worked as an outpatient coder, I would try to master what I need to know. Some of those classification systems, of the guidelines, there are abbreviation there that you want to know. Hypertension, you want to know those things, but then again, you need to understand what is the cause, what's the manifestation. You want to understand all those different things. That helps you to better prepare for your coding exam, for your RHIT, RHIA, whatever it is that you're studying, you want to know that. So memorize when applicable, and then also make sure that you're applying the understanding, reading those things to know what it has to offer, the who, what, when, where, why. It's almost like reading your textbook. That's your Bible. So you're reading this to gather more information. I go in here and I read it intensely. I find the different chapters and try to get a better understanding of what that particular content key term is all about. Because when you get to your exam, you don't want to be caught off guard. And then there's a question that is asked about a certain key term, a certain abbreviation, a certain formula, and you figure, well, I memorized the formula, I should do well on the exam. I know how to do my FTEs. I know how to calculate the length of stay. And then you're stuck because the way the question is phrased, or the way they put the question, word the question, is going to be tricky because they want to know, do you really understand what it is and not just the definition? And sometimes you're going to have the definition there, but not exactly what they're asking for. So then you're going to get tricked because you studied just the definition. So the first thing I'm going to go for is the definition. And once you select that answer, that's going to be wrong because they're not just going to simply give you a definition. You might get one or two questions or a few questions where define this or what is this, and basically answer that based on the definition. But most of the time they're not going to have that exam that easy that you just memorize the definition and go about your business and take the exam. You want to understand more than the definition. And I think talking it through, if you're confused, talk to someone, build a study group, reach out to your mentors, ask some questions, go into some of my videos, ask those questions, send them to me so I can see how I can dive deep into that content and see what I can provide for you all. But that's something that you want to keep in mind when you are studying. Memorize when applicable, but make sure you're not just counting on that because you will not do well on your exam. You have to be able to discuss a point when you are talking about something. You have to be able to further discuss a key term when you're talking about it, because for me, that's going to show that I have that knowledge. I have more knowledge than just what's the definition of a car. You need to know, what does it do? What's the requirement? How does it function? How does it benefit us as humans? What do we do with it? So you really need to understand all those things and not just memorize to pass your exam, because it's not going to work in your favor. And one thing I like to do is add some of my key points that I am talking about in the chat, just in case you guys are referring back to it. So there's a quote that says, do not memorize. I'm going to put this as study tip. It says, never memorize something that you can look up. And that's true, because if it takes more than just the word itself and that definition, then you want to study to know what it's about. So don't memorize something that you can look up. Go ahead, memorize it, but still go out and look it up, understand it, and get a better knowledge that you can use. Even if it was finagled into other questions, you got it because you did not memorize. Alright guys, so it is almost 30 at the hour. So I would say break time. So I always tell you guys, please be sure to take a break as needed. You don't want to be studying and do not take your break. It's important, it's good for you. And more information will take that mental break. So I would say break time, and you can do that between 10 to 15 minutes, so that way you give yourself enough time to actually sit down, get away from your computer, and do other things for a hot minute. Take a walk. If you're doing this during the daytime, sit outside the backyard, get some fresh air on your front porch. And the walk means take a quick walk. That's probably around the yard. I've done that before, where I just come out my backyard and I just circle the backyard just to get a quick walk. So you don't want to take a long walk because you're not going to be back to start your study back. So make sure that you just get away from your monitor, get away from your laptop. I'm going to take my phone with me just in case I have to respond, but I am also going to close things down for a minute and take my break. So guys, I have to go buy, actually not go buy, I need to unbox my time clock because I do have one, but I'm going to do that so that you can see the time trickling down. Let me indicate here that I will be back. And my time is going, so always be prepared for your break time so that you're able to kind of step away. Don't forget to give me some hearts and give me that thumbs up. Not because I've stepped away from my break, that means you're not. You can still study, take your break as need be, and I'll see you guys shortly. All right, everyone, I am back from my break. And I see some more people have joined in and stopped by. Let me say my hellos. Boy, I feel like my screen is a little bit blurry. And hopefully my network is okay. But if this continues to happen and shut down on me, I will leave the live as is. Most definitely, I am not going to delete the live. So guys, pray for me so this live can at least run for at least my 2 hours, 2 hours and a half at the max, and then I'll be stopping my live just to keep myself accountable. If I'm talking funny, that's because chewing that gum, I bit myself, y'all. And I've done it a couple of times, so I am so pissed right now, but it's all good. Hello, everyone. And let me know if you guys can still hear me. Sometimes I feel like I'm yelling or it's too loud. But if you can hear me and I'm not loud, just say, hey, I can hear you. You're good to go. Hi, Nina. Nia. Hi, Nia. Welcome to my channel. And guys, remember I said when I'm usually under the ring light, I get all this itchy face thingy happening. I don't know if it's nerves because I'm not used to doing live, but I'm trying to get a habit of doing it more often so I can become a pro like some of my other fellow YouTubers. But if you see me doing that, that's where that's coming from. So I do dim the lights here so it's not in my face. And who else was on here? Abby. Hello. Abby. How are you? Okay. Hi, Abby. So Abby Nadi is my sister. She is stopping by. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. She's also a small YouTuber like myself. So guys, when you get a chance, take a look at her channel. She's into lifestyle, and she also have another platform called Social with Abby. So take a look at her channel. Thanks, sis, for joining in. I appreciate the love and support. And guys, I do appreciate everyone that has joined in. If I did not say hello, I'm saying hello. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the hearts. That helps me to stay motivated and keep going. Although I'm going to keep going, and I am going to be always motivated to help where I can. So, but it's nice to see those hearts, and it's nice to see the thumbs up happening and the comments. So I'm going to see if I can read some of the comments. Nina says, hello, took my study break as well. Perfect. So make sure that you're taking those study break. I think it's important. You don't want to study and become a dull person. All work and no play. You want to be able to take time. Mental health is important. I always stress it because a lot of times we have so much to do. And can you guys see me clearly? I'm looking kind of at a screen here, so at least I can see myself. But I feel like the screen is blurred. Not going to worry about it too much, but hopefully you guys can see me. But yes, please take that study break when need be. Grab a coffee, grab tea, get a snack, and then come back in refreshed to start going again. So Nina, thanks for joining. Nia, thanks for joining. Sauce says hello, saying hello to everyone. And during your study grind. Thanks. And yes, I took a break a little bit longer than I anticipated because I did leave here a little bit later than I also wanted to leave. So make sure you're looking at your time so that when you're taking your break, you're taking it at a certain amount of time. Do not waste time taking your break, because then that means the longer you're going to stay away from coming back to your work. So I left a little bit later than I anticipated, so I ended up taking a longer break. And sometimes when I say 10 minutes, I wouldn't say 5 minutes, because that's not enough time. That's literally getting up and walking out my office for me, or going upstairs. So it's not that much of a break. Give yourself time to walk to where you're going, sit down, and then relax for a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then time to come back in. So if you're taking a break, make sure you're giving yourself that kind of time. You don't want to rush your break and feel under pressure, and then it defeats the purpose of taking a break. So when you come back, you're refreshed, you're still ready to start again. It's kind of like your second wind. You want to make sure you get that. And then Abby says, hello everyone. So thanks again for joining. So I'll say hello, Abby, how are you doing? Nia says, hello, I took my study break as well, good. And then loving the vibes right now. Got a few assignments done. So that's good. Make sure you stick with getting your assignments done, because you want to submit those things timely to your instructors, or if you're editing, you want to be able to do it on time, post it on time, so that you can keep your content flowing. So for those of you who are content creators like Abby Nadi is, make sure you're doing that. I'm doing good, Sauce, Abby says. And then, so you said yes, you can hear me properly. So that's perfect. I'm happy about that. I've had a few glitches, but I'm going to keep going. Everything sounds great. All right, thank you. Hello, HIM. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Nia. Hello, Abby. Your channel looks nice. So, Abby, someone's visiting your channel. Nia is visiting your channel. And she says, thank you, sis. You're welcome. Nia said, definitely will have to check your page out after my study session. Yes, please do. Supporting is great. Thank you, Nia. So thank you guys. I'm going to do my hearts and try to send out some hearts to you all. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I am going to have to probably move my heater, because I do have it by the door, and it's getting kind of toasty in here. I know I wanted that vibe, but I don't want to roast on this live. So give me a second, guys. Okay, let's see how this goes. Sometimes I get hot, and then sometimes I get cold. And I felt like I was about to roast, so I want it toasty, but not that toasty. And I like the dark setting, FYI. Sometimes you will see me in the light, but right now I like the dark setting without having too much light. Plus it saves on bills. So on that note, we want to encourage everyone to save on bills. So as long as you can see your notebook, as long as you can take great notes, which I sure can, because I can read what I am taking, and you're not in the darkness, I think you're good. So for me, this is what I like, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the vibe and you're getting your work done. Nia says, everyone heart the live and thumbs up. Thank you. Oh, yes, I did not want to roast, because sister girl be hot, cold, hot, cold. That's why I have my little shawl here, and I have a tank top on. So I don't want to be naked on my live as well. So I normally have these two on, and then sometimes I get hot, sometimes I get cold, because in the basement it gets cold, but it's nice and cozy, so I'm good to go. Okay, getting back into the session now. Yes, me too. All right, happy studying, happy editing, happy whatever it is that you're doing. Let's get it done. Let's jump back into it. And don't forget, you're welcome to chat amongst yourself. If you're on the live, you can continue to give me those hearts. I love to see them going off every now and then. And I will be monitoring the chat to see if there are any comments, additional people stopping by. I do see sometimes where we have more people watching. And so if you're watching on your end, please feel free to join the HIM family. This is all things healthcare, health information, health IT, but at the same time, I always say the same thing. This is not just because I'm a niche channel. I still want people who are studying for your classes, any type of certification, any type of trade. Make sure you join in and just keep yourself accountable. You don't have to be taking a certification. You could be taking a biology class. You could be editing your video. You could be working on a project. Join in and just get your work done. Let me know what you're doing. It's nice to read whatever you guys are doing. Chat away if you need to. But this is just to keep myself accountable. If I don't do it this way, sometimes finding time to do something might be harder. So set time aside, commit to it, and I think that helps us with staying accountable. If you do not commit to it, if you don't set that time, you're never going to get it done. So I try to set what I'm going to do. I have my to-do list, and then I just check it off like I did yesterday. Just check it off what I did and make sure that I dock that time in, set that time aside, and accomplish my goal. And take one day at a time, guys. I know yesterday I think it's Carmen in my life, and he or she was talking about studying, they're finishing up school, and I think they were high schoolers. So different professional world and people that are just students. So welcome. Get done what you need. Abby says, me too. Neil's going to edit a bit, then off to bed for an early morning tomorrow. Yes. Great job, Abby. I don't know how early you're starting, but if you're joining, thanks for joining. Hit the thumbs up, leave a comment if need be, and if you have to jump off, you're welcome to do so. I do appreciate you guys just stopping by, and I'm happy to see some of you guys joining in. But the lives are so great for accountability and carving out time to do projects and work on things. So yes, I do feel that is so true. Kind of like your study buddy and your work buddy. I know most of the time I'll call my sister and we will be doing things together. Even though we may not be talking a lot on the call, she might be editing and I'm trying to get work done. She might be meal prepping and I'm cleaning. So I think sometimes having that buddy or that partner you can study with, or that partner you can edit with if you're a content creator is important. Someone to be accountable. And then that way you get it done. And sometimes I would ask, did you edit your videos today? Did you work on your assignment? I do the same thing with my kids. Did you work on your assignment? Did you get it done? What else do you have left to do? And we'll kind of, come together to get our study on. So make sure that you do that. Find someone that can keep you accountable, someone that is driven, someone that would motivate you as well. So right now I noticed that my live stream says that I have been on for 2 hours. And when I put my mouse over here, I do see 2 hours and 3 minutes. So I'll see how much longer I can go. I think I took that long break and it's giving me a little bit energy to go a little bit longer. It wouldn't be much more longer than at least another hour or 30 minutes. But it's interesting because yesterday I was trying to look at my time frame, and I guess with the viewers, you guys aren't able to tell. I think it gives it to you by the hour. So again, with YouTube rules and reg, do not type in digits in the chat because I'll have to delete that. Spell out your numbers. So I wanted to see if any of you guys can confirm, are you seeing at least 2 hours with the when the live stream started? Because sometimes I'll see that and I end up ending it early and then find out it's an hour and 58 minutes. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I like to stay by the hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. That way you have your break time and then your study time, a solid 1 hour. 2 hour, 30 minutes, you have your break time, maybe 15, and a solid 2 hours. But I always do this and then I end up stopping my live only to find out we're missing about 5 minutes. So, or 6 minutes or 15 minutes. So I try to stay longer, which I'm not saying that you have to stay longer with me. If you can, good. But if you can't, please get your rest. But I usually have to ask the viewers to let me know, are you seeing 2 hours? And if you're seeing 2 hours, then I'm good with 2 hours. And even if I'm going, I know that I've passed that 2 hour mark. But I don't know. I'm still learning YouTube and YouTube Live. So I've just told myself and Keiichi, go a little bit longer, stay a little bit longer. I mean, without you guys on live, sometimes I can study most of the night. My master's program, I was up all night. And I tried to still balance out myself to get it done. And I got it done, graduated, so I'm good to go. But sometimes we can't see it, or I can't find it where I'm supposed to. It just tells me started streaming 2 hours ago. So if you know, Abby says I see 2 hours. Okay, cool. So that's good because once I see that, I normally try to stay a little bit over. So we'll see. It's on my end, it's about 11:13, so I might stay until midnight to lock it off at an hour more, and then that way I'll get in 3 hours and I'll be done. So that means, let's say if you were studying and rewatching this, you're at least studying for a good 2 hours, and then, or 2 hours 30 minutes, and then take your 15, or in between, study for an hour, take a 15, study it for another hour, and then take a 15. But either way, I'm happy to know that at least I'm over that 2 hour mark. Another thing is my lives could be more or less. I've done an hour live, so it's not stationary. I just try to get on here to see who's doing something, and so we can do it together. So I'm going to jump into finishing up a few things so I can get that done before I jump off within the hour. And thank you once again for joining, guys. So another thing, I've been told that I'm looking very serious when I'm trying to get my study on. And if I am. Sometimes I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing. So as I said, if I don't see you in the chat to acknowledge you, please forgive me and just know that you are special for joining. I am grateful for you guys joining. But I do get carried away with work. And so that's where I am. There we go. So I do see my network spinning. I'm going to try to refresh. Let's see what's going on. Am I still here? OMG. Technology. Can you guys still hear me? Can you still see me? Can you hear me? This is okay, guys, so I'll be on for another 20 minutes, then I'll be jumping off because I think that's going to give me 2 hours and 30 minutes. And so that would be your 2-hour study time, an hour, 15 break, and then another hour, 15 break. However you decide to split your break, do that. But I'll be on for another 15 minutes or 20 minutes to mark it at 2 hour and 30 minutes. So that way we can allot time for the break. So at this point, because I know I have a few minutes left to end this live, I am actually doing my checks and balances on what I need to do. Again, what I do even on paper, guys, is I end up planning myself out. So let's say I'm working tomorrow and I have certain things I need to do for the work day or work week. I would say day or, and week is better than your months. I mean, you can add your months on a calendar, but I end up planning out what I need to do. Sometimes before I leave the office for the day, I'm going to plan out what I need to do. So I'm going to put tomorrow's date on there and plan out what I'm going to do, whether it's work related and all my to-dos and what I need to do, my checks and balances. And then I'm also going to plan out my personal as well. So that's like what I'm doing right now, which is bringing you guys this live, editing videos for my channel, meeting with anyone that I need to consult with, responding back to some people that I need to respond back to, because I do have people that reach out to me for me to mentor them. So I do have someone that, speaking of that, I need to respond back to. I have done one or two things when it comes to helping out students when they have certain things like research to be done or interviewing a healthcare professional or someone in the HIM leadership role. So I have that on my to-do list to get back to this person who reached out to me based on my social media platform. So I end up listing out my to-dos and make sure that I have what I need to do tomorrow, whether it's for work, and what I need to do personally or for home, kids, family, or whatever. Once I have that jotted down, then I know when I start in the morning, I have a game plan. What am I going to do during my lunchtime or my break time? Am I going to do an early live in the morning before I start the day, or a lunch live, or when I'm done at the end of the day? So if you plan that out, it keeps you on track. I also do time blocks at work to make sure that I don't have all my employees reaching out to me at one time, or just everyone is in tune that this time and Keiichi's going to be free to either meet with you guys, or I'm not going to be free to meet, so they know not to disturb me during that time frame. So do a block out if you have to block out on your calendar, but plan yourself so you know what you're going to accomplish tomorrow, and then just make sure that you try to get them done. I think that's another way of staying focused. Just like me creating this live helped me get stuff done, and I'm able to keep myself accountable, create that sheet, or do something on Excel, Google Docs, whichever one. Create something and then just cut it off the list. And whatever you don't accomplish, you can go ahead and keep it for the next day. So start a new date and transfer that over to the new date. And as I get them done, I normally highlight. That's why I was telling you guys about using your marker. Highlight what you've gotten done, because you know you've gotten that done and you're good to go. So I think I am at the end of my live. I'm going to see where I am right now. And I think I am close enough to be able to stop my live. Well, actually, I have another 5 minutes. So, but that being said, I will be ending this within the next 5 to 7 minutes. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the live. And hopefully for those of you who joined, you gave me a thumbs up. If you're going to be watching this thereafter, hey Kim, if you're going to be watching this thereafter the live, go back in. There's some useful tips for those of you who are trying to do stuff, get work done, keep yourself accountable. Hi Kim, how are you? How are you doing? Let me say hello. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hello Kim. I'm all loud screaming, hey Kim. So guys, Kim is one of my supporters and I support her. She also is a small YouTuber like myself, and hustling and grinding, always trying to do her best. She has a lifestyle channel just like Abby. So thanks for joining. Kim, how are you doing? How is the family? Hope everybody's doing great. I was about to end my live soon. I was just counting down to time and doing my last minute check-ins with everyone. and also kind of telling everybody what to do when you're done at the end of the day with study or work plan. Try to figure out what are you doing the next day. So that's where I was. Sorry I didn't see this earlier. Girl, don't worry about that. I don't think a lot of people see it, and usually I come on here to try to get my study on or get my work on when I can get stuff done. So sometimes I'm not really expecting everyone to. Kim says editing a video again. Yes, girl, do that and keep posting. I watched one of your videos, so keep yourself accountable. Usually I don't expect a lot of people to join in. Once in a while, I've said it, my sister Abby will join in because she's always editing her things too. I know Kim joined in yesterday, and hubby as well. So I usually am not expecting people to join in. And then some people are watching on the background, which I appreciate all you guys that are watching and joining in. I've said it, yes, this is a niche channel, niche, however you want to call it. It's a channel that is specific for HIM, but also healthcare in general, people that are doing different things. And I always tell people this is a study or my me time. So study buddy, working buddy, if you're editing your videos and all that, you guys can all join in. We can do this together. Some people are reading their Bible, so just join in and let's chit chat and get work done. It is a quiet session, but sometimes I will make some comments because I want to make sure I acknowledge all you guys. So Kim, no worries. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. Kim says we're all doing very well. I have up with me editing. Girl, go ahead. Tell them I said great job. Just trying to get caught up with everything. Yes, I think it's good that you have support. There's nothing like having hubby supporting you. I know my husband has been supporting over the years. Like every other year, it's like, what are you going to do now? I'm like, I want to take this degree. I want to do this. But I've gotten it and I've gotten it done. So no matter what, I think it's great to have that support factor. Even your kids and them helping you out and things like that. So that's awesome that he's there to help you keep grinding. Eventually, our platform will grow. Our channel will grow. I think that's important. My day was good. Busy, very busy, because I have a lot of evaluation to do for my employees and to get it done before the end of year. Even though our physical year is different, July to July, but I still have reviews that I need to do because I'm going to be taking some me time. And it's going to be quite a nice chunk of time into the new year. So I want to make sure I get everything done, and hopefully I don't have any patient safety issue because I am on call in case they have to reach me for any of the hospitals. So I'm working on those different things too as well on my to-do list to make sure I get them done when I start early in the morning for my shift. So guys, hang in there. I know we are all doing what we gotta do, and all these small YouTubers that join in, I appreciate you guys for joining in and loving your channel, loving the content. So keep up the great work. Yeah, I was still trying to look at that time allotted to know where my time is, but I do track it with the red bar to know where I am, and I wanted to make sure I push at least 2 hours and 30 minutes for those who are actually doing their studying or editing. They can have their little break time, because when you're doing those things, also take a break. Don't overdo it because you don't want to go crazy. I mean, YouTube is not that easy to do, but when you enjoy what you're doing, take your time, do it, and do it right. So I think I am at that 30-minute mark, actually 27. So I have another 2 more minutes and I'll be jumping off. So say hi to everyone. Kim, say hi to your hubby for me. Abby, I appreciate you joining. Sauce, I appreciate you joining. Mia, joining. And I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anyone else. And those of you who are joining quietly and watching on the background, I do appreciate you guys, because either way, you're watching and you're probably studying. Join the family. As always, I'm going to say that I think it's important. It's good to help grow the channel, motivate people, especially small YouTubers. When you see something you like, please join, comment, show them that support, show them that love, because it encourages people to keep bringing these content out. So join the family, comment when you can, give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts, and that is much appreciated. And yeah, I have another 2 more minutes of rambling, but I'm doing my last minute check. So that once I'm done, I'm going to clear out my desk. That's another thing I do, guys. I end up clearing up my desk, of course turning off the candles so I don't burn down my house, my home, my money, my life. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to put my books away and just make sure that I wipe down a little bit, because when you come in the morning and you have a clean space, your office is clean, I feel really great about to start my day. So make sure that you guys are doing that. Those that are leaving out, is the same thing. You know, your office space. I always tell my employees, that's something that we always say, free up your clutter from your desk. So make sure that you're cleaning your workspace before you leave, and when you're going back to work, everything is looking good. So bye Kim, good night. All the best on your editing. So you want to make sure that you guys are doing that, and that's what I plan to do, kind of wipe down and be ready for my morning. And then I also make sure that I shut down, because if you don't sometimes shut down, make sure that you're saving what you're saving. We did talk about putting things electronic on online, Google Docs, Excel. If you have anything that you are working on, make sure that you save it prior, because if you don't, and you come back in and have to log in and the system is upgrading, or you have to reboot, you might lose all the great things that you've worked on, and that would not be a nice feeling. So make sure that you are doing that. Alright y'all, I am at my 30-minute mark, and I will see you guys on the next live. I might do a live tomorrow or the next day, but I'll do it as often as I can or I deem necessary. And please feel free to join, set the notification so you're notified when I do post another live, or when I'm live, or another video. Again, thank you all for joining, and have a good night. Bye y'all.